We welcome you to LST Johnson Arena in Morehead, Kentucky for this Ohio Valley Conference matchup featuring the Bruins of Belmont University and the Eagles of Morehead State. Take a look at the current conference standings, especially the East Division, and you'll see how the preseason media poll was pretty accurate. They pegged these two teams to be contenders for both the division and conference title. As for the series, this is the 10th meeting between these two schools, and it's important to note that the last 4 times they have played, the outcome was determined by a shot at the buzzer. Last year, Morehead upset Belmont here 78-77 when the Bruins all-conference guard Craig Bradshaw's shot just rimmed out as time expired. The featured players, Belmont is led by last year's Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, Evan Brads, the senior from Jamestown, Ohio, also led the nation in field goal percentage the last 2 years. Morehead State's go-to guy is their senior point guard, Xavier Moon, who recorded the school's first ever triple-double last month against Central Arkansas. Folks, 25 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds, only the 15th time that has ever happened in the Ohio Valley Conference. The teams, the tempos, and the coaches in this game are about as different as it gets. And let's talk a little bit about offense here. Along with Mo Casera, I'm Jerry Punch. And Mo, offense for these two teams, quite a contrast.
Doc, we're going to see some offense tonight for sure. Belmont loves to spread it out. They've shot 420 threes already this season. And for Morehead State, they love to get in the gaps, dribble, drive, attack the basket. Going to play at a frenetic pace.
Take a look at our coaches. We got a legend on the Belmont University side. Rick Byrd, his 31st year at Belmont. The 6th most winning coach among active Division I coaches. The list is pretty impressive. Mike Krzyzewski leads it, Jim Boeheim and others. And just an amazing career at Belmont. And across from him, how about a rising star in the coaching ranks? He just turned 30 a couple of weeks ago. We're talking about Preston Spradlin. He is the interim head coach. We'll explain why he is the interim head coach and what all took place here in just a little bit. 30 years of age from Pikeville, Kentucky. He spent 5 years on John Calipari's staff at Kentucky, and he's had to take over in what's been a very difficult situation here, but done a really nice job as they have won now 3 of their last 4 games.
He's really done a wonderful job getting his team together, getting him to play. It was fun being around him today. You could feel his energy and his players really rallying around him. A young coach, certainly a guy on the rise, and been put in a very difficult situation. And as you mentioned on the other side, Coach Byrd, he's just done nothing but win.
We talked about Evan Brads, who was the last year's Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. He is a post player, but really could play 3 or 4. He can do it all.
He really can. So efficient around the basket. We've mentioned it already. Led the nation in field goal percentage the last 2 seasons. Hey, he's only shooting 61% this year. People might say he's struggling, but boy, is he efficient around the basket. Really knows how to play. He can pass. They play off of him. They like him to get touches all the time, especially on the road. One of the better all-around seniors in the country.
Candidate for the Senior Class Award, which factors in academics, community service, and prowess on the court. So not only is he a great basketball player, he does everything you have to do around it. And take a look now. He's also in line for the Lute Olson and Julius Irving watch list for 2016 and 17.
Got a new hairstyle this year too, huh, Doc? Last year had the tight haircut. Good-looking young player, and as we mentioned, the ball's got to go in his hands all the time for Belmont, and they love to play off of him. Kick it in, kick it out, and they shoot the 3.
We mentioned Belmont returning 4 starters. The only loss was a big one, though. Craig Bradshaw, the 3-time All-OVC player who's now playing basketball in Germany, and Bradshaw was such an emotional leader for this team, but they've stepped up with a young guy, Dylan Windler.
Dylan Windler, we love. We saw his coming out party last year as a freshman, somebody who's really versatile, young, athletic, long arms, young player from Indiana, can really shoot it, and he's versatile. Coach Byrd, you know, kind of a reserve guy, but he couldn't say enough good things about him in his reserve tone today, how much they love him.
They love the explosiveness of Bradshaw over the years, but Windler does give him the length, and there is Rick Byrd. By the way, condolences to him and his family. Lost his dad, a legendary sports writer, Ben Byrd, who's in the Hall of Fame. And his mother's been ill, so it's been a tough couple of months for the head coach at Belmont there. We're dealing with some family issues.
Wasn't it fun visiting with him today? Just love listening to him talk about basketball, and he just loves the game. He teaches it. We'll talk about it throughout the broadcast. His playbook is thick. He's always adapting and adjusting, and boy, his team is fun to watch.
If you watch them practice, I mean, it's like watching a West Coast offense in football. There's so many different plays. You almost need wristbands. It's very complicated, very complex, but the players that he recruits to his system can get it pretty quickly.
They all know how to play. They all know how to pass, catch, shoot. We were even talking to him today. You know, Evan Brads, who's really become one of the better post players in the country, they really recruited him as a wing, and he's so good with the basketball, was able to be versatile and found a real home around the basket, and they're going to be fun to watch. This game's going to get up and down, Doc, and they're going to score a lot of points.
Belmont in the navy blue, they like to pass it. Very unselfish play, like to shoot the three. A lot of transition out of Morehead State in the white. They will dribble, drive, and set ball screens. Glad to have you with us here in Morehead, Kentucky. Starting lineup for Belmont. Once again, they're going to be deliberate. They go inside the Brads, who the shot is partially blocked, but they will draw the foul. And that's on Trayshawn Williams.
And right on cue here, Belmont go into Brads, play off of him. He likes to pass out of the post, but he's also very good at getting to the free throw line.
Evan Brads, a 78% free throw shooter. Doesn't seem like a lot when he shot 71.4% from the floor a year ago. Averaging almost 20 points a game. The first one in, second one off, and Williams will get the rebound.
But I like that start for Belmont. Get to the free throw line, especially when you're on the road. Tough place to play. Try to get your feet underneath you.
Moon on the drive, nice dish off to Dyson. Ball off the glass, couldn't get it to fall. Austin Luke will deliver out for the three-point shot, and a shove from behind on Brads. And another personal foul, two quick fouls on Trayshawn Williams here.
Silly foul away from the play there. Pushing Brads, little excitement, little extra shove here. And you see Morehead State really wants to get to the basket. Nice help there by Belmont.
One of the areas of focus was to be able to guard and not create so many fouls and keep your players on the floor. We talked about that today with Preston Spradlin. Now two quick fouls for the big guy inside. Shot off the mark. Scramble on the floor and trying to get a timeout, but they're going to call back court on Taylor Barnett, so the ball will go back to Morehead State.
Taylor Barnett's another guy we're going to talk a lot about tonight. Local boy from Lexington, Kentucky, left-hander, really shoots the ball well. He's struggled throughout the season. He's the guy for them that really needs to get the ball in the basket as they head into their league play here. And 0 for 2 to start already with a couple good looks.
We mentioned Morehead State upset Belmont a year ago here by 1 point. They trailed the entire basketball game. In fact, Morehead trailed the last time they played here at home last Saturday. Trailed by 9 in the first half. They've really been a second half basketball team for much of the year. Brad's off the glass, can't get the roll. Miguel Descent. The two guard off to Moon. Back to Descent for the three.
Nice start here for Morehead State. Dribble drive, play off at Belmont's got to contain the dribble to be successful here on the road.
Oh, nice crossover pass to Egakeze, but he overshoots it. Save from Brad's back inside. Oh, nice bounce pass to Brad's from Austin Luke.
One of the unsung heroes on this Belmont team, Austin Luke, steady at the head of this offensive attack, always knows where his players are. Nice pass there.
Morehead known for their rebounding prowess. Couldn't get one there inside to Egakeze, and he will be called for step. Spun around, great defense inside on him. Taekwon Bidding was standing over him where he couldn't get the shot off, made him turn around, and they got called for the steps.
A little too quick there. Want to grab the basketball, be strong with it, shot fake. Take care of the basketball. Another big key for Belmont, not turning the ball over.
Again, Morehead has Bidding on the shot. Nice no call inside, pumping shoulders, both players. Well, I like watching Austin Luke play. He looks for the open pass, very unselfish player.
Knows where his teammates are all the time, likes to spread the ball around. But again, I mentioned it before, big key for them taking care of the basketball. 2 consecutive turnovers on the road. Tough to win anywhere, especially against this very good and playing very well Morehead State team.
Just on cue, when I compliment his passing ability, he throws it away, so that's okay. Xavier Moon, the go-to guy here for Morehead State. On the dribble, drop, dish inside, and the shot gets the roll. Taekwon Bidding gets the basket, but Xavier Moon created that.
It's the dribble drive. Xavier Moon able to get into that teeth of that Belmont defense. Going to be a big, big, big important key for Belmont throughout this game.
Here's a steal and the slam. DeJuan Marrero, the redshirt senior out of Gary, Indiana. I've told you this Morehead State team has come out of the funk after 8 losses, and there's an illegal screen. It'll be called on Seth Adelsberger.
4 straight turnovers, and you see the steal here, jumping in the passing lane. Morehead State aggressive to the rim.
DeJuan Marrero was the OVC Newcomer of the Week twice last year. Out of Gary, Indiana. Came out of Chipola Junior College. Had a knee injury as a freshman. Played a second year there and then transferred in here, which is sort of the case for a lot of these players here at Morehead State. Again, Marrero. Second basket in a row.
If you're Belmont, that's the shot you want, but the confidence growing here for the Eagles. 4 straight turnovers for Belmont. Need to get a good touch inside.
And they're going to call Moon for the personal foul on the shot. It's been all Morehead State early on here on the home floor, and the heavyweight in the OVC, Belmont, struggling offensively.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the new Volkswagen Golf All-Track, soon to be everywhere.
Back in Morehead, Kentucky, Morehead State up 11-3 early on, offensively led by Marrero. He's had 6 consecutive points. Glad to have you with us, along with the coach, Mo Casera. I'm Jerry Punch. You know, Morehead State finished the year last year with 23 victories overall and looked like they were poised to really make headlines entering this season. Unfortunately, the headlines they made were not the ones they wanted, because head coach Sean Woods on November 22nd was suspended pending an investigation after complaints from several players. Then on December 15th, he resigned following the investigation of alleged physical abuse. According to the court affidavit, he was charged with a misdemeanor battery and is awaiting a court hearing on February 9th. And the third-year assistant coach, Preston Spradlin, was named the interim head coach. AD Brian Hutchinson getting that done quickly. And I know, Mo, that rings a bell, because very similar to what you had to deal with as a young assistant.
It's a difficult situation. When I took over as the head coach at Hofstra, I came there as an assistant, and then you have to shift gears and, as they say, move over a seat. And all of a sudden, different pressures, different requirements, different things that you need to take care of on a daily basis. And this young coach has done a wonderful job. It was fun to be around him today, fun to be around his energy, and you can see his intensity here.
He said when he was named interim head coach, he made 2 texts, one to his wife and one to Coach Calipari. Said Coach Cal called him that night and asked him 2 questions. Number 1, what happened? And number 2, what's your plan? What are you going to do? And he said, I told him the plan, and suddenly Coach Cal knew I was ready for the opportunity.
I think Coach Cal was impressed with his plan, and we were impressed with him today, just being around him and spending some time with him. What he's done with this program under a very difficult situation, mid-season, having to kind of reshift. And he talked to us a lot about how he's changed the little things that he's wanted to implement, and the team has really started to buy in.
If you look at the timeline, there was a 26-day period there between the initial suspension and the resignation where the whole program was in limbo. Players, coaches didn't know what was going to happen. He ended up losing 8 games in a row. But I think Coach Spradlin has turned things around as Brad gets the bucket. He has turned things around by sitting the players down and saying, we're not going to look at film. Let's just open the floor up and talk about what we want to say. Let's get it off our chest and then focus on the season for these seniors.
What an impressive move by a young coach to do that and sit down and just say, hey, let's try to figure this out. And since then, they've started to play better. They've won 2 in a row. They're off to a good start in the league and off to a good start here tonight, Doc.
Really good start, that 3 by Miguel Descent. Great defense. And look him inside for Brad. They surround him. He tries to get the shot up, and they're going to call the personal foul. And that is on Taekwon Bidding. That is his first.
Interesting here, Belmont has changed philosophy a little bit. This is what makes Rick Byrd such a great coach. They love to shoot the 3, but the 3 is really not there, so they continue to go inside, draw fouls, put Brad to the free throw line where he's so effective.
You mentioned the 3 not being there, and typically today we watched the practice and shoot around. We talked about the interim head coach, Preston Spradlin. They worked on being out on that 4-out, 1-in offense that Belmont runs, so they were in the face of the shooters out beyond the arc.
He talked a lot today about being there on the catch, and that's a phrase that some people might not understand, but you got to be there when that offensive shooter catches the ball with your hands up high, try to defend that 3, because Belmont can score in bunches, and we've seen that throughout the last couple years in the OVC.
Absolutely. Brad's hits them both. The margin is 5. It was 8 at one time. If you just joined our coverage. Descent with the pass and the turnover. Brad, the quick feet, cutting in front to take the ball away. Again, oh, nice bounce underneath for Brad's. It went up for the block, and he was able to get the shot off the glass.
What a shot fake. Take your time, young players, underneath the basket. Get the defense up in the air and finish around the rim. This is why Evan Bradds is one of the better seniors in the country. Watch this play, young players. Gather yourself, shot fake, get the defense up in the air, take your time, use that rim to protect and finish as he does so well. As we mentioned, 2 years in a row, leading field goal shooter in the country, and this year, 61%, still pretty good, Doc.
Yeah, not bad. 9 points for Bradds. By the way, he just called for his first personal foul as Ronnie Beeman hits the free throw. They have been, you can tell Brad, both hands on his hips. He has been working hard inside to get some of these shots off. Beeman gets them both. Only a 52% free throw shooter, but he's perfect tonight.
Beeman's a guy that Coach Spradlin really likes, thinks could be one of the better all-around players in this league. Great body, great physical strength, and they're showing he's really improving on the free throw line as well.
Nice dish back out. And Kevin McLean nails a shot. Check it, that was Nick Smith, McLean to Smith. Well, the Eagles are shooting lights out again. That's Marrero from outside.
And that's the shot that Belmont wants, the perimeter jump shot from Marrero, but confidence is building here for the Eagles.
McLean on the drive, challenge, ball goes up, can't get it to fall, and here come the Eagles. Moon on the drive, takes a short jumper. Oh, nice follow inside by Ronnie Beeman.
Hustle plays right now, 50-50 basketballs, those in-between balls right now, Morehead State winning every one of those.
McLean from beyond the arc. A little too hard. Xavier Moon drives, gets a shot up, and draws the personal foul. Well, coming up Saturday at noon Eastern time on ESPN, we'll have an ACC showdown for you. Grayson Allen leads at number 7 Duke Blue Devils against Rick Pitino's number 14 Louisville Cardinals. It is a sonic blockbuster. All available also on streaming live on ESPN app and Watch ESPN. By the way, that was the foul was called on Kevin McLean, his first personal foul, and Moon shooting the free throw. That is the 4th team foul, though, against Belmont.
Boy, can Xavier Moon get up and down the court, really crafty in the lane, gets to the basket, knows how to get fouled. And this is a team, as we mentioned, 81, a little over 81 points a game. They've scored over 100 3 times this year. And right now, they're on pace to put a big number up here against Belmont.
Yeah, third point of the night for Moon. By the way, if the name sounds familiar, his uncle Jamario Moon played for the Raptors and the Heat and the Cavaliers. Shot off the mark by Nick Smith.
Now, why is that a bad shot? That's a shot that Nick Smith really shouldn't take, a one-dribble three-pointer. When the ball's passed to him in rhythm and catches it within the offense, he makes it. We'll talk about it throughout the game. I mean, he made 7 for 7 in one of their early games against UT Martin, but that time trying to do something that he really doesn't do that well.
Yeah, he had career-high 30 points against UT Martin back on January 5th. 10 three-pointers. Looking for descent outside the long. Edgar Casey with the rebound.
Couple bad shots, both possessions there on offense by both teams.
Brad's back to Smith, and he nails it.
See that, Doc? In rhythm, within the offense, catch and shoot. Nick Smith, as good as you'll find in this league. Great shot. 2 threes for him already.
10-point lead for Morehead State. Biggest margin of the game. Turnaround for Harris off. Taking a little bit of an off-balance shot. Rick Byrd getting ready to send some of the other starters back in. Austin Luke has not been off the floor. Keze looking inside for Brads. They got the shorter descent on him. Brad still gets the ball, gets the shot off with the left hand.
Took advantage of a mismatch. He wants a sub. They keep going into him. He's tired. Got a mismatch there on a switch out by Morehead State. He took advantage, takes the time. Left hand finish around the rim.
Moon with the short jumper.
Boy, can he score and really get in the lane. Belmont got to stop that dribble drive.
He is relentless. Looking inside to Edgar Keze. He can't handle the pass. Another turnover for Belmont. Walker, the freshman guard. McLean down. Here comes transition for the Bruins. They will set up the play. They'll get it back to Austin Luke to try to set up the offense. Well, Evan Brads looks like he's exhausted.
He sure is. He's done a little bit of everything. Rebound, catch, pass, another nice long dish. And that's what he does well. Catch and shoot, Nick Smith. You do it so well. Nice pass there again. Austin Luke finding the open man in the corner.
Nick Smith now with his 9th point already. Again, he had a career-high 30 back on January 5th against UT Martin. Belmont has cut the margin to within a point here.
And another advantage Belmont has, a deeper bench. They play a lot of guys. You can see that time no offensive rebounding there for Morehead State.
Edgar Keze wisely getting it back out to Smith. Why? Because that's the result.
Took one bad shot with that dribble drive. I criticized he made 3 in a row since then.
Nick Smith with 12 points, but how about DeJuan Marrero pulling up the jumper from outside, the redshirt senior from Gary, Indiana. Evan Brad single-handedly getting the Bruins back in the ball game, reassuming the lead. He has been tenacious inside.
He's just done a little bit of everything. He's so good around the rim. Shot fakes, catch and shoot. Morehead State chooses not to double team. He'll go to use the other side of the rim. Crafty, creative, efficient, and exhausted.
Yeah. 4 of 5 from field goals. He's 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 11 points, 6 rebounds, and we still got half a play.
And we also have to talk, Doc, about what he does off the court too. You know, what an unbelievable student athlete he is. One of the finalists for the Senior Class Award, which, you know, is just an unbelievable honor. It takes into consideration on the court and off the court. Terrific student athlete.
Indeed he is. Nice rebound, 3 shots, still can't get it to fall. Put back again, and finally down with the rebound is Burton Sampson in the ball game. Well, he has become a nice surprise for Belmont this year. They were talking about what a great role player he has been after sitting out last spring.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. One of Belmont's real advantages is their depth. They can really play a lot of guys.
Ball rattles out, a little pushing and shoving inside.
Another defensive breakdown there by Morehead State. You know, Nick Smith's done nothing but make just about every shot he's made, and then on a little dribble drive, leaving him alone and letting him have another clean look at the basket. Can't let him alone, because one thing he does well is shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Yeah, 15 foul, by the way. That one's on Marrero, his first personal foul. Belmont had been on an 11-2 run over the last 4 minutes to retake the lead. They had not led since leading 1-0. And yet another turnover for the Bruins. Or the foul called on Taylor Barnett.
Yeah, a little illegal screen there underneath the basket. Silly foul. Leads to another turnover. That's really the only thing Belmont has not done well, is take care of the basketball. It's their 7th turnover.
Ironically, watching the shoot-around for both teams, they both coaches said that's an illegal screen, but I don't think they'll call it. Guess what? That foul on Burton Sampson. That's the 6th team foul for Belmont. Today, coach was talking about how Sampson plays solid defensively, and he said he hustles. He's just a great hustler after loose balls. He's just a great team player and knows his role coming off the bench.
You can tell Rick Byrd values that a lot, and that's why he's been coaching 31 years.
Wide open outside shot. Again, great outside shooting. You expected Belmont to be the perimeter shooting team.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there by Belmont. Again, not handling that ball screen, and Mr. Moon knows how to find the open shooter.
Inside, and Evan Brads bumps Marrero, tries to help him up, and Marrero said, no, I'm not having any part of that. I'll get up myself.
That was a little senior call there. Gave a little shoulder, got away with it.
Well, it was all Morehead State early, and now Belmont has clawed back to take the lead by a point with just under 8 minutes to go in the half. Our next NBA Friday doubleheader starts in the Eastern Conference with Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics taking on the Hawks at 8 p.m. Eastern in a game you can only see on ESPN. And then at 10:30, we'll send you to Salt Lake City for the Pistons and the Jazz. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown charged by Mountain Dew at 7 o'clock. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. A little NBA action coming your way. Here tonight, Belmont's 2 players, Evan Brads and Nick Smith, have combined for 25 of the 27 points that they have put on the board.
And inside-outside, Brad's around the basket. Nick Smith with what he does well, catch and shoot threes.
Nice dish outside. And Dylan Windler sinks the 3.
And what a pass again. Austin Luke getting into the dribble drive, and Belmont spreads that offense out so much, and Windler, young player we love a lot, and one of the better players in the OVC the next couple of years.
Nice spin move from Marrero. That's 10 points for him. He's got his average in scoring, and we're still in the first half.
Really aggressive on the offensive end. I like the attack there, getting to the basket for Morehead State.
A rare shoot from outside by Austin Luke. Normally he's looking to pass the basketball. Lamontre Harris outside will dish it off. Beeman inside. Soft floater for the basket.
Into that paint area consistently. Morehead State able to get into the teeth of that defense. If they can continue to do that, put some pressure on this Belmont defense, they're going to be in good shape here as we head into the second half.
We told you at the top of the show, the last 4 times these teams have played, it's come down to a buzzer shot to determine the outcome. We're tied in the first half here on the floor. Tie up. Got the numbers. Moon will draw the personal foul from Luke. Good foul to try to avoid the layup.
And that's what great scorers do. Worst case scenario in that 2-on-1, got to get to the free throw line. See hustle play I mentioned earlier, that 50-50 ball, dive on the floor, grab it. Got to come up with it. Morehead State comes up with it. Nice bounce pass there on the break. Worst case scenario, got to get to the free throw line, get your best shooter, scorer to the foul line.
That's Xavier Moon, the senior guard, leading scorer. He actually leads the conference in free throw shooting at 91%, and surprisingly, he has already missed a free throw tonight. Maybe I jinxed him early on.
Boy, he is shifty. I'll tell you what, he can get to the basket. See him kind of grabbing his shoulder here a little bit. Took a little bit of a hit on that foul. And you mentioned these games are so physical, and both of these teams, as they head into OVC play, every game matters now. You know, they know they want to get to put themselves in position to get to that Ohio Valley tournament where anybody has a chance in this league to win the tournament.
Absolutely. Very complete league. I mean, a lot of parity this year. We mentioned, and you see the grimacing there from Xavier Moon. That shoulder was taped. He heads to the bench and will go out and talk to the trainer. They can ill afford to lose him. 2-point lead for Morehead State. If you just joined our coverage, Morehead was out to an 8-point lead early, 11-3. Belmont clawed back and finally retook the lead, as they do again with an outside shot.
Excellent skip pass. That skip pass so hard to defend. Cross-court pass from Austin Luke, and Dylan Windler that time catch and shoot in rhythm shot. Bang, two threes in a row.
Windler, the player that sort of had a breakout game last week against Southeast Missouri. That shot off. Egekeze. And they're going to call the foul on Ronnie Beeman. One official pointed to Egekeze, one pointed to Beeman. The foul is going to be on Beeman.
Now watch the skip pass. Cross court, so hard to defend. The defense tries to help, sags too much. That's a really, really tough closeout. And Windler got great length, size, beautiful left-handed jumper.
Nice look at Amonze Egekeze, playing so well. Double figures the last 5 games. Had 18 points to open the year at Vanderbilt. $15 points, 12 rebounds against Lipscomb. So Egekeze, the true junior out of Lake of Hills, Illinois, just outside of Chicago.
Another guy that can shoot the three, play around the basket, has benefited from playing with some of these great seniors the last couple years, and he'll be a stable part of this Belmont program here moving forward.
Descent taking over the point guard position with Xavier Moon on the bench, holding that shoulder. Little motion. Descent will fake the outside shot, dribble drive for the short jumper, a little too long.
Nice defense last couple possessions for Belmont, forcing some contested jumpers.
Whoa. Talking about a heavy cross-court pass. Might have been a little too much. Got a break on the tip out of bounds, and Belmont will get the basketball back. You sort of get an idea why Austin Luke leads the OVC in assists, averaging 7.2 a game. No matter where he is, he's looking to get the ball to someone to score.
Hey, I think I could get a couple assists on this team for Belmont. I'll tell you what, they got so many guys that can shoot the ball.
Bidding on Brads, and Brads will get the bucket on the reversal.
Really having trouble defending him in the post. He thinks before he acts all the time, and you take one side away, he'll go the other way, can use both hands around the basket. That's what makes him so effective. His third finish on the left-hand side of the basket already.
And a result, he gives Belmont their largest lead of the night, 5 points here. Now Morehead State being very deliberate. Again, Xavier Moon on the bench. Marrero, the dish out inside the short effort, and that is Lamontre Harris. And boy, they think that guy has a very bright future.
And that's what Morehead does really well. The Eagles love that dribble handoff, very hard to defend, constant action, trying to constantly attack the basket, and nice offensive possession there from Morehead State.
Dishing in the Brads, and he will draw the foul on Bidding. How about the move Evan Brads made on the previous possession?
Catch the ball in the post, take your time, see what the defense gives you. Reverse, left-hand finish for Mr. Brads. Nice.
I've enjoyed coaching more in the last 3 years than at any period of my life because you just totally settled in on the game.
What a showdown we've got coming your way in the Atlantic Coast Conference at noon Eastern Time. Grayson Allen, the Blue Devils of Duke, and Rick Pitino's 14th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. It's a sonic blockbuster, available streaming live on ESPN app and Watch ESPN. By the way, Coach K, still out for the back surgery, going to be out about a month. Jeff Capel stepping in, his former player and former VCU and an Oklahoma head coach. Who do you like in that one?
Well, I'll tell you what, tough to root against either team, but Coach Capel taking over for Coach K. And jumping back here, we got reviewing a play, a physical play underneath the basket here. Was that intentional with that last swing of the arm there? You'll see the officials see if there was a intentional swing. You see it not right here, but at the very end of the play, a little hit to the face there. Officials reviewing it would probably get an idea what's going on here.
That was Dewan Marrero against Amanze Egekeze.
See if we can get an official read here on an intentional, maybe an intentional one. Not sure.
Jeb Hartness, Craig Murley, and Todd Austin are our three officials tonight. We're taking a look.
And the question was that inadvertent? You see a little good sportsmanship there. Certainly, I don't think it was intentional. The officials agreed.
Now Brad's at the free throw line, but the push was against Egekeze out of bounds. There was no foul called. The foul, previous personal foul, had been called to send Evan Brad to the strike.
Coach Bird seemed to agree with the officials there. I never seem to agree that much. That's probably why I'm sitting here with you.
You're just such a nice guy. You would never disagree with the officials. Evan Brad's now 17 points here in the first half. Nice. Again, Lamontre Harris with the short jumper.
Really effective. Nice offensive set there. Terrific coaching by Coach Spradlin out of the timeout there. A nice set play out of a timeout. Go to the hot hand, Lamontre Harris.
5 points for Harris here now, coming in late in the first half. Austin Luke off the mark. Harrison for the rebound.
Just seems to be everywhere, doesn't he? Rebounding, scoring. See if they go to him here again.
Now you know why Preston Spradlin is so impressed and excited about the future for number 13. Oh, great hustle inside by Ronnie Beeman. Gets the physical rebound, puts it back up, and draws the foul.
One of Belmont's weaknesses, defensive rebounding, not great size across that front line. Physical play here by Morehead State, and that's what they do well. Go to the offensive glass. You know, when you're struggling a little bit trying to get back in the game, get yourself a couple extra offensive possessions.
Yeah, Amanze Egekeze gets the first foul, exactly. Trying to, and just playing emotionally, playing with this kind of energy. You know, when Preston Spradlin took over, we told you he talked to his mentor, Coach Calipari, and he said, just be yourself. He said, but now they have to provide the energy. The guy they had before here was the energy. He was the guy, the energy that got him pumped up. He said, you be you, you teach them, and let those guys provide the energy and effort.
Very humble guy, very honest, and I think given all that they've been through, I think the players really appreciate that, and they certainly responded.
1 point basketball game, under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Belmont led by as many as 5, Morehead led by 8 early on in the first half. Windler goes up for the shot and draws the foul.
Now, I'll tell you why that was really a great shot. Little defensive breakdown here. Let in a lefty, dribble to the left, but watch him switch hands to the right and finish. Terrific young player here in the OVC. Switching hands midair, finishing with his right hand.
We told you this team lost Craig Bradshaw, their 3-time All-OVC player last year to graduation, and Windler, he was penciled in to take Bradshaw's place, and what a nice job he has done. Xavier Moon back in after getting a little bit of a break. The set on the drive, ball tipped from behind, great defense by Windler, followed by Marrero. And the putback by Harris. Great team effort by Morehead State.
Creating extra opportunities, attacking the rim, that constant dribble drive, ball screen action, Belmont having trouble handling.
Perfect pass inside the Brads, and they are smothering him. He still gets a shot off, follows a shot with his own rebound, puts it up again, It's a little short.
And there's an opportunity. Probably should have kicked it out, had some three-point shooters on the perimeter.
And he hustles down the floor and draws the charge. Nice sportsmanship, Marrero and Branch. I'm not sure I would step in front of that guy, Marrero.
I'll tell you what, that one hurt a little bit. Nice throw-ahead pass here, Xavier Moon. Move your feet, take it on the chest. That's a great hustle play. Young players out there watching. Great effort, great energy. Brad's getting a much-deserved rest here and go to the bench.
And Marrero will head over there as well. His second personal foul. He is their leading scorer in the first. They've actually tied with Beeman with 10 points. But they cannot afford to lose his inside presence.
Really effective around the basket. Now, 2 minutes left here in the first half. Really important defensive possession here for Morehead State. Try to get a little momentum going into halftime. If you can walk into halftime with a lead or a tie, you feel really good about where you are. Big defensive possession here.
Barnett been fairly quiet here in the game. He's the great outside shooter. Ekekeze looking to drive, off the hip, off the glass.
Substitution, go to the bench there. Coach Spradlin, and a defensive breakdown, going for a shot fake, late help. Not the defensive possession they want. Going to continue this ball screen action, try to get to the rim.
Going to have an illegal screen and a push inside on Lamontre Harris. That'll be his second.
You know, I mentioned, Doc, an important 2 minutes here, and then you go defensive breakdown, turnover. Those are the signs of a little bit of inexperience, a little bit of a young team. But they've really battled here. Got to sit down and try to get a stop.
Try to get a stop. Meanwhile, Belmont wants to take some of the clock away and get to the hoop. Again, Ekekeze, left hand. Nice defense inside. Keon Alexander. The drive, almost turnover. Moon picks up the loose ball, rattles out. And they're going to say it was tipped out by Belmont. It'll go over. It'll stay with Morehead State.
New shot clock here. Great opportunity. Baseline out of bounds underneath. Run your best play. Watch for Moon coming back in off the inbounds.
Being very deliberate. Xavier Moon looks inside of Lamontre Harris. He will drive, loses his footing, out the descent for the three. Off the mark. Moon still trying to get up. Players everywhere on the floor. And Keon Alexander was fouled by Taylor Barnett. He picks up his second personal foul.
Great hustle play there both ways.
Wholesale substitutions. Lamontre Harris will go out. He's got two personals. Can't afford for him to pick up a third. They've already have Marrero on the bench with two, and that's why we're seeing Keon Alexander in, the redshirt junior out of Brooklyn, who's shooting the free throws. Only his third free throw of the year. He's 2 for 2 previously.
You jinxed him again.
Yeah, shouldn't have mentioned it. Inside of 30 seconds to go in the first half, Belmont trying to add to their three-point lead. Largest margin of the first half was 5. Quinlan on the reversal. Got too far under. Final 20 seconds. Here comes Xavier Moon. And they will set it up for the final shot.
Look for a high ball screen here. Xavier Moon want to get the last shot here. 7 seconds. Want to get something up with about 4 or 5. Chance to tip in.
Trying to dribble, drive, defense there. Shot from the corner, off the side, follow, and it goes. Jordan Walker, the freshman guard from Indianapolis, gets the putback. And the shot goes, and it is a 1-point halftime lead for Belmont.
Excellent extra effort here by the young freshman. You see Moon have to give the ball up. Nice defense by Belmont. Last second shot. Stay with the play. Catch Belmont watching. Get your rebound. Great smile after that finish. Let's see if it's good. Looks good to me.
Oh, yeah, out of his hands. The two-time freshman of the week in the Ohio Valley Conference, Jordan Walker, gets the shot back to make it a 1-point halftime lead for Belmont. We've had 1 tie and 6 lead changes in the first half, and Evan Brads has been absolutely amazing. as we head to our halftime studio with Brendan Fitzgerald and Dino Gaudio. A 1-point game here in Morehead. So Belmont up by a point. They led by as many as 5. You take a look at our first half stats, and we told you it's been basically 2 players for Belmont, Brads and Smith, combining for 29 points. Belmont shooting 50% from the field, and not bad from the 3-point line.
Yeah, that's a number that's alarming at home. If you're Morehead State, 50% field goals means they're way too comfortable shooting. Got to do a better job being there on the catch and stopping Belmont's offensive attack here early in the second half.
Here's another alarming number for Morehead State. They have 5 players in the first half with 2 personal fouls. Beeman, Harris, Bidding, Williams, and Marrero all had 2 personal fouls. Several of them had to sit in the final minutes of the half.
Interesting coaching move as Belmont comes out in a little zone here to start the second half. Rick Bird putting Dylan Windler up on the top with his long arms and try to take away the offensive preparation that Morehead State probably had, the set play they had ready for. Great coaching there by Rick Bird.
Absolutely. He's been around a while.
He sure
740
has.
wins ago he started.
There's a reason why he's won so many games, and there's a perfect one coming out of the second half with a different defense.
And gets the turnover and the basketball, and they're going to get a little shove in the back. And Trayshard Williams got 2 personal fouls in the first 2 minutes, and now he picks up his 3rd personal in the first minute of the second half.
He has not been able to get going, unfortunately. An effective guy for them around the basket, and big point of emphasis the last few years in college basketball, that arm bar and defense.
Again, we had 6 lead changes in the first half, 1 tie, and that's been the guy who's been smoking hot all night long. Evan Brads now with 19 points, 7 of 10 from the field.
Great execution again. Go inside to your horse. Make sure he touches the basketball. Good things happen.
Speaking of horses, Marrero had been the guy, and he gets a shot up, and he gets it partially blocked. Belmont trying to move the ball in the perimeter, get the open shot. Taylor Barnett, who just had it, hasn't really been able to do what he normally does. They've been going inside the Brads, working hard, left hand, and draws the 4th personal foul on Trayshard Williams. And he didn't get to play much at all in the first half, and now he is gone from the second half.
So good with his back to the basket, so good with his left hand, can use both hands, really knows how to finish around the rim, takes his time, gathers himself, rises up, comes back that left hand. Very, very hard to defend.
Boy, Evan Brads, coaches will tell you look at him, you watch him in the shoot around, he doesn't look like he can do, but then you watch him in the game and he does it all. He has the complete game.
Sure does, and when the basketball goes into him, good things happen, and I like what Belmont's done here to start the second half. Make sure he touches the basketball both times down the first 2 possessions. Really good for Belmont.
22 points now for Brads, and the biggest lead of the night for Belmont, 6 points. Moon gets the jumper to fall.
Moon really knows how to use that flat ball screen. Very tough to defend. Can really rise up on his jump shot, too.
Barnett can't get it. Egekeze with the save, trying to bounce it off a defender. Xavier Moon will try it from 3-point range.
Score in bunches. Bad shot on offense by Belmont leads to a good shot and attack from Morehead State on offense.
Moon now with 12 points. Fairly quiet in the first half. Again, can they handle Brads? Marrero got to be careful. He's got 2 personals, and Brad's still able to get the bucket.
So good. Takes his time. Holds his pivot foot. Very difficult to do. A real veteran move there for Evan Brads.
Brads has already equaled his season high of 24 points against Western Kentucky. We've got a lot of basketball yet to play.
Let's watch Morehead here again. Keep the ball in Moon's hands, see if he can create.
They're going to say he was shoved before dishing. That's on Taylor Barnett, and that'll be his 3rd.
Barnett really has not been able to get going. A guy we've talked about it before the game today. He's kind of the key for them. If they could get him going and be that that third offensive weapon. Boy, they're really going to be tough to beat as the year moves on.
Yeah, the transfer from Virginia had 28 points on New Year's Eve against Austin Peay, sort of due to the team that upset him in the tournament last year. Now he, with his third personal foul, heads to the bench.
He's the active leader in three-pointers made in the OVC, but this year shooting 25% overall, just struggling to get it going.
Beeman trying to drive outside the freshman again, off the mark. Egekeze will bring down the rebound.
Nice defensive possession for Belmont there, contesting the three-pointer, boxing out, rebound, and push.
Kevin McLean in, a backup point guard. Oh, Austin Luke goes down. Looked like a nasty spill. Looked like he might have turned his ankle, but he rolled to keep from turning the ankle.
Coach Bird didn't waste too much time. Austin Luke, a little careless with the basketball there. One of the frustrating things about him, and a turnover leads to good things for Murray State. Got to take care of the basketball, especially on the road.
Yeah, and Kevin McLean will pick up his second personal foul, but that's a good foul. They're going in for the layup. Beeman nails the free throw, and it's a 2-point margin. Nick Smith coming back in. Dylan Windler in. Egekeze and Luke go to the bench. You mentioned the depth of Belmont's bench. A lot of effort, a lot of hustle here. These players were grabbing their shorts even early in the second half. That depth could pay off for Belmont late.
Yeah, Belmont's bench really an asset. And Morehead State's fought their way back in here. Really important defensive possession. See if they can sit down here, get a stop, get a little momentum on the offensive end.
Nice pass, Windler from outside. Great dish by Burton Sampson to Windler for the wide open shot.
Great range for Windler and great size, really elevates on his jump shot. Defensive breakdown there by the freshman, letting him have an open
Moon
look.
with a hand in his face and jacks the three. He had McLean all over him and still gets a shot up.
This kid can really play. I'll tell you what, people who haven't seen a lot of this league, he can flat out score. And every time Belmont seems to make a little run, here comes Mr. Moon back at you.
Belmont, another outside shot, off the mark. And guess who? Xavier Moon, Mr. I'm doing it all. Over across court to the freshman, trying to get it back outside, bidding for the shot, partially blocked. Here comes McLean back. Xavier Moon on defense. Two hands, no call, no great defense by Moon. They're going to need an oxygen timeout here in just a minute.
Kevin McLean should have given the ball up, had a nice 2-on-1 little bounce pass for a layup. Moon, nice defense.
These Morehead State Eagle fans loving the effort here they're seeing out of this basketball team. You've got to love what they've been through, what they've endured, and the effort that they're playing, and what Preston Spradlin has done with this team in the last 3 weeks. And there's a prime example. Discipline, passing, getting the good shot to Juan Marrero.
Excellent shot by Marrero, but even better pass by Moon. He was guarded, little winded, took his time, gave the basketball up for a great assist.
Nick Smith to McLean. Had Burton Sampson open on the wing. Looking across court, there is Sampson. They get the ball to him. Windler again for three. Follows his shot, rebound inside, off the glass, follows it again, and can't get it to fall. Can't fault the effort there at all for Dylan Windler.
Nice attack there by Windler, even better rebound for Morehead State. Coach Spradlin going to keep the ball here now in Mr. Moon's hands, let him create.
They stop the dribble penetration again. Ball screen, dribble penetration. Marrero's had the hot hand, 12 points. He will drive right hand, soft one over the outstretched arms of Nick Smith.
Boy, they have had no answer from Marrero. His physical play, aggressiveness, attack, no help there for Belmont on defense.
Morehead State now with a 3-point lead. Marrero with 14 points here. Smith, a nice follow and rebound.
Nice weak side rebound. Long shots mean long rebounds. Got to box out on the weak side. You see some tired bodies here by both sides. Got to find a body on that weak side and box out. Nick Smith, nice finish.
Marrero walking up the floor. He's the one that didn't box out. Looked like he's just trying to catch his breath. Getting it back to Moon. Bidding was there for the screen. McClain checks a dribble, backs outside to Smith.
And we've called that name quite a bit. When he's open on the three-point line, defensively, you can't run in the paint. He's a tough guard because he plays a center or forward position. You got to find him on the three-point line if you're Morehead State.
Smith has 17 points tonight. He had 30, his career high against UT Martin with 10 threes. Oh, nice dribble and dish, followed by Bidding. Shot won't go. Still great effort inside. Marrero, he is playing like a warrior inside. And he wants a personal foul. A little frustrated that he thought he was fouled and might have turned and said something and draws a technical. I think it's fatigue and it's frustration on Marrero's part.
And a lot of physical play down there, a little bit away from us. We didn't have a great angle at it during the live play. You see the aggressive play right here. Both teams battling, physical play, loses the basketball there, probably.
He's
right
double
there.
teamed by Sampson inside and then turns to the official out of frustration and draws the technical foul. And half, DeJuan Marrero has been the scoring force with 14 points, or one of them for Morehead State. Inside, trying to move the basketball and gets called for the technical foul. He might have a legitimate gripe. He got shoved a couple times.
You see a little physical play here, action. Probably missed a foul there, reaching in before. And then just a little bit of frustration at home there. That's always going to get you a technical foul, looking back at the referee and sit down for a few minutes, think about it, and then get back in there and keep playing hard. He's had a heck of a night.
He has, and by the way, that's his third personal foul. And Taylor Barnett will go to the free throw line, a 92% free throw shooter, and a little bit long.
That just shows you Taylor Barnett just off a little bit. Sometimes a couple free throws like this can get your confidence going. Maybe that one will get him going here offensively.
And they will get the basketball as Marrero sits down. And the fact that they've had so much foul trouble, talking about Morehead State, Trishad Williams with foul trouble, and Marrero's had to be the guy inside.
He really has, and he has, but he's stepped up, hustle plays, effort, steals, been active around the basket. So the Morehead State want to get him back in here as soon as you can.
Belmont being deliberate, unselfish, crisp passing, looking for the open perimeter shot. Shot clock now at 10 seconds. Barnett looking for the screen to get the shot off. Egakeze from the corner. Burton Sampson, great hustle play to tip it back outside.
Great hustle by Sampson. Get yourself another possession. Make Morehead State continue to defend.
Sampson passes inside. Egakeze can't handle it, but Nick Smith will pick it up and get the bucket.
Nick Smith just seems to be in the right place at the right time. Loose ball there.
Yeah, 19 points for Smith, and you see on the screen an 8-0 run by Belmont after Morehead State had retaken the lead.
Yeah, that technical foul was a bad time for them. Led to an offensive possession and a free throw.
Nice soft bounce. Lamontre Harris for the bucket, and they needed that.
They did. And now it's about playing through an entire possession here on defense. Belmont does such a nice job of moving the ball side, top side, making the ball reverse. Long slides for Morehead State.
Belmont going deep into the shot clock here, or they were. Now they get the ball with a nice wide open pass inside to Nick Smith.
And that's what I was talking about. They can reverse the ball. They make you guard different possessions for the entire possession, I should say. And then what a nice pass there by Austin Luke.
Xavier Moon back out to Harris. Has the open look. Can't get it to fall. The ball is down. And it'll be a jump ball, help possession ball. Arrow favors Belmont. How about a couple of impressive shots here? Watch inside for Nick Smith off the glass. He can do it from anywhere. This time again, the inside bucket.
class is so strong, and we're ready to show people that we can be one of the best teams to come out of Duke.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson telling you how he feels about it. We got an ACC showdown for you, noon Eastern time on ESPN coming up Saturday. Number 7 Duke Blue Devils against Rick Pitino's number 14 Louisville Cardinals. A sonic blockbuster. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Little excitement and energy here in the building. Morehead State coming out in the second half retook the lead, and then they struggled here with Belmont going on an 8-0 run, and then the technical foul hurt them inside because it was the third foul on Marrero, and it sort of took the wind out of their sails.
Sure did, and this is time where you really got to coach every possession. You got to coach every timeout, and now you got to try to win little battles here if you're Morehead State. Try to win the next 2 or 3 minutes, and that's what Coach Bradlin's talking about. And catch your breath here, and you got Mr. Moon back on the court, so they're ready to go.
Got to get a stop here for Belmont. They've been able to go inside the Brads. Will they do it again here? Inside, outside. Brads can't get that one to fall. Pretty nice defense by Bidding.
Finally missed one. He went back to his right hand, actually missed one around the basket.
And he's right-handed, by the way. Xavier Moon. McClain draws the foul. McClain right with him, but he did a nice job of using the body to go up with the arm and draw the personal foul.
And that's what I'm talking about. Win the next couple minutes where you get a defensive stop, you push it, get the ball to your best player, get him to the foul line. That allows you to set your defense, catch your breath here a little bit, try to string stops together. That's really important for Morehead State.
Yeah, Kevin McClain was put in to try to guard the quick Xavier Moon, and he's now picked up 3 personal fouls. McClain's done a nice job staying with him, but he's also cost him 3 fouls.
So good at getting to the foul line, Moon, and that's what makes great scorers. If the ball's not going in the basket, which it has for him tonight, getting the free throw line, great scorers know how to get there.
And Moon entered the night leading the conference in free throw shooting at 91%. He missed the front end of those 2. Brought Brads out high for the screen. Egekeze inside. Whoops, and he throws it away. Sort of a partial no-look pass, and didn't see the Brads had already moved to the corner.
That's a pass you don't like to see. Egekeze getting into the paint right there. Got to turn around and shoot that little left-handed hook. They went to him. Turnover on the road. Key. With a little momentum here, Doc.
Yeah, Rick Byrd didn't like that at all. A wasted possession. Another opportunity for the Eagles. And Morehead. Moon from outside, a little off the mark. Oh, backside inside. Oh, nice backside move by McClain. Nice dish by Austin Luke.
When Austin Luke takes care of the basketball and really runs the team, he is so effective and so efficient. Really did a nice job there finding the open man.
Looking inside, backing in. Lamontre gets a shot off and draws the foul. Talking about Lamontre Harris.
Great point guards have great vision. You can see it here, backside cut, defense get caught watching. Nice little bounce pass into the interior. Mr. Luke with another assist.
Windler's first personal foul. And on that cut, you saw how quick Kevin McClain really is. The backup point guard, how quick to get off the cut underneath for Belmont to get the basket.
Nice dynamic off the bench for Belmont, little quickness. They come off the bench with scoring, with Nick Smith, and they come off the bench with quickness with McClain. So they've got a lot of pieces, and that's the sign of a great program, and that's why Rick Byrd's been doing it so long. They got a lot of continuity on their staff. Brian Ayer's been there a long time, associate head coach, and players that are redshirted. They've really built not only a great team, but a great program.
They have been a heavyweight in the conference, 8 conference championships, 7 conference tournament titles since 2006. Oh, that's classic there. Brad's back it in.
Once you get in there, don't kick it back out unless you absolutely have to. And Morehead State chooses not to double team, and if you do that, Mr. Brad's going to make you pay.
Season high for Evan Brads at 26 points. His career high was 36 a year ago. Moon, the double clutch, somehow got the shot off and didn't get fouled. Great hustle back to tip the ball out of bounds.
Loose ball.
And Mo, you should have shot that one.
That's the first loose ball I've come up with my entire career.
Good hustle on your part.
You know, hey, a lot of credit to Coach Bradlin over there. Really nice demeanor on the sideline, working every play and working with his staff and getting his team to work so hard here tonight. And, you know, not an easy task for a young 30-year-old, but as we mentioned earlier, you know, came from a great program at Kentucky.
Positive energy from him, and again, Brad's inside. And the Belmont lead goes to 8 points, largest lead of the night.
You see a little fatigue setting in for Morehead State, and you see it on the defensive end, and Belmont scoring allows them to set their defense.
Descent in, fakes a shot, giving up his dribble, and now Lamontre Harris will take the jump.
Big shot by Harris. They needed that little momentum booster there. Try to get to the TV timeout here as they got a couple tired bodies.
Yeah, Harris is the one that had 20 points against Mississippi State early, and they had a chance to win that basketball game. Smith from outside and nails it for three.
Difficulty guarding that pick and pop, and Nick Smith, when he sets the screen, he's not rolling to the basket. He's going to the three-point line. Proved it throughout the evening.
Harrison, he will be called for taking steps. It has been an incredible effort all night by Evan Brads. Great passing inside. Watch Taylor Barnett, the no-look dish to Brad's backside off the glass. And head coach Rick Byrd, what a job he has done in 31 years as the head coach there in Nashville. He ranked 6th all-time among active Division I coaches in career wins. Look at those names: Krzyzewski, Boeheim, there's Huggy Bear, Roy Williams, Rick Pitino, and Rick Byrd. What a job he has done. 2-time OVC Coach of the Year, Hugh Durham National Coach of the Year back in 2011. Was inducted in the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, joining his famous and late father, Ben, who was a legendary sports writer. Boy, and what a program he runs. The academic All-Americans they've had, what they do on the basketball floor, they are just complete with these kids.
You know, a couple things that stand out to me. Since 96, 97, they've graduated every single kid when they went to Division I that's been in their program. And 20-plus wins, 10 of the last 11 years, 7 NCAA tournaments. I mean, the numbers just continue to kind of blow you away what he's done. And he wears that sweater vest awful well.
And he's all about what they have to do off the floor, as you mentioned, the academics, the community service. And on top of all that, as a coach, he is a 6 handicap golfer, loves to play golf with his country music buddy and legend Vince Gill, who is a big Belmont Bruin fan. Vince Gill, Amy Grant, others come and are regulars there in Belmont at the Curb Event Center.
Nice offensive possession there for Morehead State, going inside again, using a little bit of their size and strength and continuing to attack the basket.
Marrero back in now, trying to battle inside. 3 personal fouls, but they got to have inside, and they doesn't do much good at the outside bucket there by Luke.
One thing Morehead State's got to do now, the last 6 minutes here, they got to play through the whole defensive possession, got to play through the whole shot clock, because Belmont will make you pay if you relax and let your hands down, as we saw there.
10-point lead for Belmont. Descent from outside, gets the shot off. Nice touch for 3. So still pretty good offense for the Eagles, but they've got to get some stops defensively.
Big shot there, get a little momentum, a little confidence back, and as I mentioned, play through the whole possession and play without fouling.
Inside the Brads, he's been unstoppable. That shot a little bit short. Give a little credit to the defense inside. Descent looking to drive. Dishes back outside to Harris for the 3, and his won't fall.
Nice offense there, nice drive and kick out, and Morehead State choosing again on defense here not to double in the post. And why are they not doing that? Because they're such great shooters on the perimeter. Very tough to double Brad, so they got to keep playing them one-on-one in the post.
Crowd wanted steps called on Luke. He had lost possession, so that's why there was no walk called. The ball tipped and will stay over with Belmont. Nick Smith heads to the bench. Egekeze back in. Substitutions. You see the games coming up later on. Coming up, SMU Cincinnati, St. Mary's Portland on ESPN. Got the 5-second call, couldn't get the ball inbounds, and will go back, and Rick Byrd does not like that. He is such a disciplined coach. That's got to drive a coach like him crazy.
Sure does, and he's got such a thick playbook, and they practice out of bounds underneath. They practice today to shoot around. Frustrating possession there for them.
Shot up, off the mark, and we told you at the beginning of the telecast, the last 4 times these two teams have played, it's come down to a last-second shot at the buzzer to determine the outcome. A year ago in this game, Belmont led the whole ball game and were up by 14 at half. And in the final seconds, Morehead State came back and pulled off the victory.
Great little set play there for Belmont, trying to get Brad's rolling to the basket. Hold and grab there for Morehead before the play. And
that is 4 on Marrero. His 4th personal foul from a little push inside and hold. And he didn't say anything, but if looks could talk, I think he was a little frustrated at that call. Oh, nice block by Bidding on Brad's. Went straight up with the arm and got the basketball. Xavier Moon looking to drive. Drives and dishes inside. Bidding couldn't hang on to it.
Got to catch the ball with 2 hands. Last 4 or 5 minutes in the game, every possession counts. Go grab that basketball. Value the ball. Xavier Moon gives it up. Got to grab it with 2 hands.
Nothing against Taekwon Bidding. That's where they missed Marrero inside. Taylor Barnett from downtown. Windler with the follow-up, and he will be fouled.
Weak side rebounding really been trouble for Morehead State throughout this game. Long shots mean long rebounds. I've mentioned that throughout the broadcast. And there, Barnett shoots really a poor shot, but that weak side aggressive rebound. Dylan Windler, great nose for the basketball, gets himself to the foul line.
We mentioned he had what the coach called a breakout game, or back on last Saturday, as a matter of fact, against SEMO, Southeast Missouri, had 23 points. And you know, he's sort of stepping in, taking play in the wing spot after they lost Craig Bradshaw last year. And he's given them a lot of really valuable minutes and some length and showing some maturity and great effort here tonight.
Sure has. Nose for the basketball, tough kid. Big possession there for them. And Belmont here got to continue to change defenses. They go to this zone a little bit, putting Windler up on the top, try to throw Morehead State out of their rhythm a little bit, take away that dribble drive.
Soft touch for Harris. Wise by Egekeze not to shove him. Started to push and took the hands away.
And nice zone offense there on the fly. Where's that zone weak in the middle? And they do a nice job getting the ball inside against that zone.
Oh, Brad's is limping. Grabbed the left ankle. And he came up the floor and just stopped at midcourt and now limps toward the bench. And that would be not only a loss tonight, but a huge loss this season, because he is the inside presence as the conference's reigning player of the year. Athletic trainer Kim Anderson taking a look at the left ankle for Evan Brads and just put his head inside the jersey. Now watch as he comes down on Lamontre Harris' foot and turns the ankle, turns it in and rotates the foot.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Landed on a foot, certainly accidental there, but you could see him grab his foot right away as that rolled over. And he is one tough kid, so I can tell you if he's in that much pain, he really rolled it good, and it certainly looked like it did. That's not a good looking roll.
Yeah, he had trouble putting weight on it. Came back, they took a look at it. He wears an ankle brace, ankle support, as many basketball players do. And Kim, they retied his shoes, but I got to believe he's going to be sitting there for a while now, folks. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go. the inside presence, the go-to guy, the 28-point scorer tonight. Evan Brad's on the bench with an ankle sprain, and now it's a 6-point basketball game.
Boy, what a tough kid. Coach Bird just walked by him, and he just kind of said, I'm all right. So I'm sure that gives the coaching staff a bunch of relief. If they can keep him out here the last 3 minutes, they'd probably like to, but they're in a dogfight here. 6-point game, 3 minutes to go. And that's the stop that Morehead State needed.
You cannot just turn and throw the ball away. Austin Luke is too good a basketball player for that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that they get frustrated with a little bit. He makes such great passes, and then at times just very careless with the ball. You know, great assist numbers, but a lot of careless turnovers.
Playing a dangerous team on their home floor that can score late and can rebound. Although nice box out inside by Egekeze will give the ball back to Belmont. Brad's back in the basketball game here, trying to hang inside. They get the ball to him, goes up, backside. He's limping up the floor, but he turned, planted the foot, and got the ball off the glass. What a gutsy effort.
Let me tell you something. I wish everybody could watch this kid play. Young players and fans around. What a tough kid, and just fighting through this game, trying to get his team a win on the road.
Morehead State responds with the bucket. The margin stays at 6. By the way, 30 points for Evan Bradge, and if you're wondering, his career high is 36 against Tennessee State almost exactly a year ago. And they're going to call the hold inside on Bidding. Taekwon Bidding, and that is his 4th personal foul. Morehead State's going to run out of people to play inside. I love the aggressiveness, but the arm and the elbow and the bar in the back and the hold, they're going to call it every time.
Now, if you're Belmont, Brad's got to touch the basketball here. Look for him coming back in, out of entering the ball in bounds. Belmont going to run some clock here. Basketball's got to touch Brad's hands and let him make a decision.
They got Lamontre Harris inside on Brad's. Harris is a quicker athlete. Luke into Brad, exactly what you called, Mo. Let's see what he'll double team him, turn around, reverse it. Windler with the pickup on the loose ball, puts it up, and they'll get it back outside with a fresh shot clock.
And that was the right play. They go inside to Brad's, good things happen, and then that guy with a nose for the ball, Windler, just seems to be in the right place at the right time. Get yourself another possession, run the shot clock down.
Dish inside to Windler, nice pass, nice floating pass, and great break by Dylan Windler for the bucket.
Little double high ball screen, catch Morehead State tired. Rick Bird playbook.
14 points for Windler. A little strong off the glass, and it's out of bounds. It'll go back to Morehead State. And that's Brad's, by the way, on one bad ankle, hustling out of bounds and diving to try to save the ball.
That just shows you how valuable he is. They don't even want to take him out of the game now as they're trying to steal a road win here. And if you're Morehead State, got to get something up quick, look inside, and set your defense.
Got to push in the back on Austin Luke. That'll send Ronnie Beamer to the line. Thursday or tonight, coming up after our College Hoops doubleheader. Stay tuned for Sports Center at night with Kevin Connors and John Anderson. The guys will have highlights and breakdowns from the college hardwood, the NBA, NHL, PGA Tour, NFL playoff news, and everything else. Sports Center at night after SMU Cincinnati on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. By the way, congratulations to Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. What an effort. What a great, and also the Crimson Tide of Alabama. What a great football game for the national championship at Raymond James Stadium on Monday night.
What an unbelievable college football game. You were there, Doc, calling the game on the sideline, and just unbelievable effort. And the ACC with a big trophy to take home.
Well, when you beat a Nick Saban team, especially when you beat them in the fourth quarter, and that last drive by Deshaun Watson was exceptional. I mean, what a great effort overall.
And so much strategy and so much went into that. Those last few minutes, just incredible with clock management and so many things. And speaking of clock management, we're down the last minute here, and this is where Belmont's got to really take care of the basketball.
Austin Luke trying to use the shot clock up, puts it inside to Taylor Barnett. And Barnett, that's 10 assists tonight for Austin Luke. We told you he leads the conference, and that is above his average. And Windler will draw the personal foul. Didn't need that.
And what a gutsy pass. Almost across the whole lane. Backdoor cut. Nice catch on the road. This is a really difficult pass. Sit down, make that hard bounce pass. No look. Now that's one for the highlight reel.
And that is a Rick Byrd, that is a classic Rick Byrd team. I mean, timely, sharp, unselfish play, passing, patience. There he is, you see tonight, 10 assists. Austin Luke leading the conference, ranking 4th in the country in assists per game.
Boy, there's some really good players in this league, huh? The Ohio Valley just filled with talented guys, and another one here on the foul line. Mr. Moon has not disappointed. Xavier Moon, triple-double this year. Really dynamic young scorer.
Makes a free throw. He's averaging 15.5 points a game. That will give him 17 on the night. And the story has been runs tonight, runs and fouls, runs for both teams, but the fouls have really hurt, in particular the inside players, have really hurt the Eagles of Morehead State.
Now, if you're Morehead State here, want to make this foul shot, see if you can get a quick stop here. Don't need to foul right away. Try to get a steal here in this full court pressure. Don't need to foul right away. See if you can force a steal.
Burton Sampson does a great job taking care of the basketball. Look, and they're gonna get a timeout. They had backed Sampson in, wasn't getting any help as far as being able to pass the ball out to anybody. Inside of a minute to play, still a 6-point basketball game. Anything can happen. Stay with us here, back at Morehead State in a moment. Play. 6-point margin. You know, I'm really impressed with the interim head coach for Morehead State, Preston Spradlin. His poise, his composure, and the fact that he's teaching these kids. This is a great opportunity. You know, doesn't lose his cool. He's really lifting these guys up with a lot of positive energy.
He's done it with his staff. He's done it with his players. Really impressive. And I can tell you, I was a young head coach, and it's very hard because the pressure to win is so great. But he's kind of put that aside and really works on every situation. You see here is another great situation for his team to teach and work. And boy, I've been really impressed with him. It was fun to be around him today.
It really was, and he's excited about what's happening in the future. They've got some great recruits coming in next year. Going to turn it over, and they do. And clock ticking. Got to get a shot off here now. Down by 6. Looking for Moon from outside. Descent will drive against Barnett, who will create the personal foul. So they're going to get to shoot a couple of free throws.
And that's nice coaching there. Morehead State really working on their full court pressure, something they don't do that often. They essentially really force 2 turnovers after the timeout, and then don't settle for a bad shot, get to the foul line. This is another opportunity now to talk in a timeout after the made free throw, set your defense. You know,
Preston Spradlin told us they have timeout drills, timeout practices. And you say, explain it, what is a timeout practice?
Really interesting, especially as a young head coach. You know, when you have a 30-second timeout, you have a very short amount of time where you have to think of a play, draw up a play, and really communicate to your team what you want to get done. And he said, hey, the first game I was out there, I didn't get it done fast enough. And he said to his team, hey, that was on me. So now in practice, they actually practice timeouts where they have a play, they have to execute it, get it to his staff and his team, and then go out there and operate it. I really was impressed by that.
So he has to diagram it up in a 30-second timeout. They have to run for the full length of the floor. It's a timeout scrimmage, and he diagrams a play that they haven't seen. They all have to understand it, and he has to be back on the floor in 30 seconds.
Absolutely. All 5 guys got to know where they're going, what position they're in. He even said we talked about coaching where they need to stand in the huddle, so that can help him get across them what he needs to do. So that's impressive stuff by a young coach.
You can tell he spent 5 years with John Calipari and learned really, really well at Kentucky. And kudos to the folks here for making him the interim head coach. I hope he gets a chance to stay here and try to put this program back where it deserves to go. First free throw good. Miguel Descent, the junior guard out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Played for the Dominican Republic national team in the Pan Am Games a couple of years ago.
Nice scorer, and you mentioned they got a lot of guys coming back, and full court pressure again.
4-point game, double teaming the inbounds play. They will get the personal foul called. Didn't have a lot of options. Lamontre Harris picked up the third personal. It's a moot point. 18.5 seconds to play. 4-point game.
Probably a play there you don't want to reach in and foul. You want to try to steal off the pass, a little aggressive, and another coaching opportunity. And Brad's the senior, somebody we've talked about throughout the game with the sprained ankle and everything, right back to the foul line, right in the center of it all.
Being 1-1 in the bonus. Brad's with 30 points. His season high already by 6 points. Got the miss, got a shot, 4-point margin, got to hustle, get a good shot off. Xavier Moon to Descent, they bump into each other. Oh, Descent, nice turnaround. He got the look and got the shot, but he was off balance. And now the foul down, they got a chance, they got the look, but couldn't get the balanced shot off as quickly as they wanted to.
Got the missed free throw. They went to the little dribble handoff, which has been so effective for them. In that situation, I'd really like the ball to be in Moon's hand and let him try to create, either dish it off or try to get to the basket.
I agree. Evan Brad's 12th double-double of the season, 82nd of his career, and that is his 31st point of the night.
Isn't it fun to see somebody get 30 without shooting a three-pointer? You don't see that a lot.
That's old-time basketball.
That's old-time basketball, Doc.
How about 32?
32 without a three-pointer.
Again, his career high, 36 was a year ago. Final seconds, and this one will be in the books. What a great effort for both basketball teams. There's a legend and a rising star in coaching in Rick Byrd and Preston Spradlin talking about, and Rick's got to be very impressed with the job the young man has done as he congratulates Morehead State on a great effort tonight. 700 now and 41 career victories for Rick Byrd as a head coach in college basketball. Again, Evan Brad's 32 points tonight. Nick Smith, 24. Check that, Dylan Windler with 14 for Belmont. High score would be Xavier Moon, 18 for Morehead State. Let's update our standings in the OVC, and you see that Belmont goes to 4-0 in conference play, 10-4 overall. Morehead State is now 2-2 even in conference play. Still a lot of games yet to be played.
Sure are. Going to be an exciting season. I think we've got Belmont again and Murray State, two teams at the top of the list in the OVC.
What a great effort tonight by both teams. Early on, it was all Morehead State. They were up by 8. Halftime, Belmont led by a point, and then Belmont roars away in the second half on Brad's 32 points. That'll do it from here in Morehead, Kentucky, as we head you to the studio where Matt Schick and Paul Biancardi. Guys, take it away.